Hello, Chaos Slaying Tubers, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy 1 Dawn of Souls Solo Fighter Warrior Knight Edition, whatever you want to call it, with me, BlueAnkylo. Hopefully I've come up with a good, clever name for the playlist by now. So, for today's episode, we are going to specifically focus on killing Chaos. And to do that, we're going to at least start the discussion by going over what I've done between episodes, and I'm going to talk about maybe my odds of winning and sort of the limitations I've put upon myself that I didn't necessarily need to do. Anyway, first off, let's look at some items. So, between episodes, I've gotten myself a few elixirs, one Hermes shoes, this doesn't matter, this turns out doesn't matter, and this doesn't really matter, but it's kind of a nice little extra to escape when I'm done. So, what is there to talk about? Elixirs. There's one free elixir that I forgot to pick up in the chest by the loot sealed door with the phantom eye sort of mini-boss type encounter. So I found one for free, and then I managed to get 3 more from farming, and I'll show you how in a second. The Hermes shoes, I only got one of. It's from the wizard vampires on the floor with Tiamat, is the easiest place I found to fight them. The elixirs will be from the Phantom Evil Eye as well. The Deathbringer was from the Black Knights. It was a complete accident. I didn't even really mean to get it, but I got it anyway. And the emergency exit is from the Purple Worms. So to give you a bit of an idea, this I thought was kind of clever, is I can show you how many I killed to get what I got. Just so you have an idea. The hardest item to get was actually the Purple Worms emergency exit. I don't know if I just had really bad luck or if the drop rate is low, but it took killing almost 50 of them to get a single emergency exit. So that would suggest perhaps around a 2% drop rate, but no guarantee. The Death Eye is the phantom enemy. He's really easy to farm because there's a specific tile where you just step on and you fight one Death Eye every time. Unless you're really weak, you just kill him in one attack, usually before he gets a turn. He has bad agility, so usually you go first. In fact, I think every 100 fights, I went first and killed him before he could do anything. So, pretty easy. And I got 3 elixirs out of 100 fights. So, again, maybe I got a bit lucky. I don't know. It definitely was a better, time-wise, it was a lot easier to fight 100 Death Eyes than find around 50 Purple Worms, because they don't come in an area where you only fight them. You have to fight other stuff or run from other stuff. So anyway, I would suggest bringing 3 or 4 elixirs into the solo Chaos battle. The other ones I picked up were from the not Death Knights, the Black Knights up here a little bit further. So I've killed 32 in total, including the ones that I killed back in the Flying Fortress. So I wasn't even really trying. I probably only killed 10, and I got a Deathbringer drop. It might have been really lucky. I don't know. I've never seen them drop it before. I probably got really lucky. And then finally, the Purple Worms. No, I already said that. So Purple Worms, Death Eye, Deathbringer. Oh, the Wizard, Vampire Lord. Sorry, the key vampires. So in total, I killed 9 and got the Hermes shoes. I actually got this before I hit level 99. I think the drop rate for this is pretty good. I think the developers knew that you might be having a tough time killing Tiamat and Chaos, depending on your party composition. And maybe we should put an enemy nearby that gives you a way to make it a lot easier, if you can kill a few. So, Vampire Lords, they always come 1 or 2 with a group of vampires, and I didn't have to kill very many, so either good luck or maybe just average luck, I don't know. What else is there? So unfortunately, the cool Deathbringer sword that I was kind of thinking might be neat, it is Red Wizard only, so it's, I believe, the Red Wizard's strongest weapon, or at least better than the Sun Sword, so that's kind of neat, but unfortunately we can't equip it. And we picked up 1 Mega Elixir, either from a random drop or from a chest. We got 3 elixirs from random drops, 1 from a chest, and 1 lucky Hermes shoes, 1 emergency exit. We don't need this to kill Chaos, but it's helpful. Okay, that's basically it. So let's zip back down to Chaos. I'll show it off because it's going to be a lot easier this time around. Now that we're 99, level 99, and we've got the Mazmune, we should be able to zip through here a fair bit quicker. Also, I was going to play a specific song for this area. Let me see. Just hold on, just a second. Yeah, it's like the final dungeon. Or no, I started with this one. Never mind. We already played it. It's fine. It's the final dungeon from Final Fantasy 2. Anyway, one thing to note, I forgot to mention. Because your stat gains are randomized, this is perhaps, hopefully, an average picture of a level 99 knight, but I'm sure you could have less or more in the strength and luck departments. More strength translates pretty straightforward into more damage, so that would make it easier. The other stats probably wouldn't matter too much for what we're going to do, but just keep in mind that your luck may be better or worse based on random stat gains. It may take you a lot longer to get that Hermes shoes, and I would say the Hermes shoes is probably required. So one of the things I was sort of hinting at during the intro for this episode, again, the music's kind of getting loud. Maybe I was getting all pumped up. Turn that down just a touch. So one of the sort of personal limitations I put on myself here is I decided not to attempt any bonus dungeon content to I decided not to attempt any bonus dungeon content to make this easier, because I know I could get emergency exits and a bunch of like agility and strength potions and lots of Hermes shoes and lots of X potions if I did the bonus dungeons, and I thought that would skew it to be too easy. I wanted to show off fighting. This is also how easy, like, you can just farm the Death Eye here for hours, and you don't get any experience, but eventually you'll get an elixir or two, and it's pretty simple. Anyway, and these are the Black Knights that I just killed a few of and got the Deathbringer, so if you got a Red Wizard, you know, that's cool. But anyway, yeah, so I specifically didn't go to the bonus dungeons because I didn't want to skew the solo challenge against Chaos. It would, I'm sure, have made things a little bit easier, but I wanted to kind of show off a mostly legit strat. Like, I still think it requires the Hermes shoes and probably a couple elixirs at least. Like, I don't know, perhaps there's a chest or two hidden around the world, not in a bonus dungeon, where you might be able to find a couple X potions or elixirs snuck in chests that usually just had money in it in the old version. Maybe you can't run from this fight. I kind of actually have a feeling I've been trying to run away from a fight that you can't ever escape from. So anyway, if you're a more thorough explorer, you may have been able to find a few extra full healing items, whether it's X potion or elixir or mega elixir. I don't think you need too many, but I would say probably you're going to want 3 or 4. That plus the Hades Gauntlet and a Mazmune Knight should be enough. If you somehow got lucky enough to get any sort of item that can increase your attack power, as if you cast Temper, or whatever they've turned the names into, the Temper or Saber, the attack up spells, basically. If you've got any way of casting those or drinking a potion that does it, that would make things a lot easier. Obviously, that's why I went with the Hermes sandals, because they were, or shoes, whatever they're called. Wow, a lot of unrunnable fights. Anyway, that's the idea, is I wanted a way to easily buff my damage, and I didn't want to go to an optional dungeon to do it yet. Although, if you're struggling, I have nothing, you know, holy crap. I've just got to say, I'm kind of getting annoyed here at the encounter rate. Sorry about that. But yeah, anyway, can't run from these either. That's great. Alright, let's never go back to that floor ever again. Yeah, that was a little bit of an encounter spam there, so sorry, I totally lost track of what I was talking about. I was kind of trying to decide if I'm going to show off some of the bonus dungeons in the solo fighter run, and I think I will after the Chaos fight. I'm not sure how far we'll get. As tough as Chaos is, the optional dungeon bonus bosses are, well, some of them are maybe easier, but there's definitely super bosses that are way more powerful than Chaos. And I don't think a solo knight is able to win. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe I should try. Maybe I should at least give it a shot until we run into Omega, and then there's nothing we can do. I forget actually how I did it with the 4 knight party. I just know that it was possible with 4 knights. I don't even really remember how I did it. That was a fair while ago when I did my 4 fighter only run. Alright, seriously. The random encounters are just slaying me on this supposedly quick run down to the boss fight. So we'll fight the Lich again. With Mazmune and a few extra levels, she'll go down, or he'll go down a bit quicker. Theoretically. In theory. I mean, we must be doing more damage than our last run, but I just don't have... If I had access to fast or haste, I'd be able to really buff up for all the big fights and do tremendous damage, but without a ninja around, there's no way to cast haste. Remember, it's a solo challenge, guys. We can't bring them around just to cast spells. That's cheating. Alright, Merilith should also be a pretty much no-brainer here. I'm not going to really mess around with buffs on this fight. I know, we already did this at the end of last episode, so I was hoping we could get through the Chaos Temple in like 5 minutes. The random encounters really bogged this video down. Sorry. You know, if I was really a pro-tastic YouTuber, I would have done some fancy-smancy, swirly video effects and cut it all out, but I guess what bugs me in this situation, and this is just a personal pet peeve, I guess. Once you're in the position that you no longer gain experience, there's no level ups, and you've hit the money cap and the XP cap, fighting random encounters is completely pointless, other than maybe item drops. Oh, can't run. So seeing as most of these enemies don't even have good item drops, it just wastes my time. But unfortunately, there's not a lot of options. The encounter rate is what it is, so I guess we'll find out if we can run. Yeah, we can run from that encounter. That's good. Unfortunately, we can't run from this one, and we're going to have to defense up, because even at level 99, 6 water elementals do a ridiculous amount of damage. Alright, and we're done. Unfortunately, you know, we didn't really upgrade our equipment. In preparation for Chaos, you know, I didn't get any of that secret swag optional dungeon loot that may or may not help. I don't even know. I think we would have had to go pretty far down the rabbit hole to get anything that would have made a huge difference. Okay, Kraken fight, number, I guess, 3 for you guys. Let's still defense up because, you know, let's not be dumb about things. Don't accidentally use the Mega Elixir, I need it. And let's just slaughter it. 700 damage, not bad. 884, that's pretty good. That would have been enough in the NES version to one-shot the tier 1 Kraken, because they have 800 HP. Alright, and then without needing to go to the Mazmune chest room, this is a very easy floor. Tiamat, same old deal here. Now, I said she's technically susceptible to poison smoke death. I'm like 99% sure she is immune to normal death elements, so as much as the Deathbringer sounds cool, I don't think it has any possible way of working on her. You need the Scourge spell, and that's probably the only one. So anyway, we've killed her before. I doubt there'll be anything too interesting. You know, we fought her with the Mazmune last time, but we're just a few levels higher up. Oh, what? What? Healera. Okay, well that's interesting. It's a good item. Not great for a solo run. So how many of those did I end up killing to get that drop? Just for interest's sake. 3 Tiamats? Wow, I bet you I was super lucky on that one. That would have been so good on the 4 fighter run with limited ways of healing. Getting a free rune staff here would have been super good. In fact, I'd be willing to bet the only way I managed to defeat Shinru and Omega with 4 fighters was 3 or 4 Healera staffs. I can almost guarantee that that's how I did it. Because you need a group healing spell that does a lot of healing. And usually you'd have a white mage cover those fights. Alright, so today we're not allowed to run from air elementals, that's fine. Anyway, that was super cool and nice luck. And home free, alright. So thanks to the emergency exit, now we can leave this area whenever I want, as well as fight as many times as we want. Okay, let's just sort it, I guess, just so it's sort of sensible here. Because you can't really drop items. I was just thinking, like, I could just remove some stuff. Is there, like... There's no garbage bin at the bottom of the list. Huh, interesting. Anyway, put a save down. Alright, so last time Chaos made a fool of us. Let's bring up his boss music and give it another try. It's very important we use the right music. That's the wrong music. Come on, random shuffle. Oh, by the way, play the lute. Sorry guys. Failing on reading. There we go. Alright, one more try. I mean, I would say 100% that this build is not guaranteed. If you're playing along, and you're trying to do a solo night challenge as well, the build I'm proposing here, I don't think it will have a 100% success rate. But I think it's got a high enough success rate that we'll get it eventually. So first off, we still want to use defense because, you know, if we could avoid his physical attacks, that would be great. Also, we don't want to deal damage until he uses his first Kiraja anyway. So we may as well just buff ourselves up as much as we can, keep our HP topped up, and then start unleashing damage after he uses his heal. Now, because he'll eventually haste himself, I don't even know how many blinks you need to be 100% safe, or at least reliably safe. It's probably a lot. I'll do one more. Also, I don't want him to get to Kiraja before I'm ready, basically. Alright, so we've got a bunch of blinks. Let's get our own haste on. Cyclone, that's fine. What I'm probably just going to do for a few turns is just do some healing. Now, maybe at level 99 we can Cura for more than a high potion. That is not the truth. So high potions it is, for normal healing. We're going to save our elixirs for the rush. And the rush doesn't start until he casts Kiraja on himself. If there's any other buffs that we want to put on, now's the time. I guess I could see how much Healera heals for interest. Not very much. Good if you had 4 people, not good for just a solo. Unfortunately, there's just nothing else we have access to that will really help. I don't think you can silence Chaos. That's not going to work. Protect, sure, is a buff you could put on, but I guess I'll cast Protect once or two. Oh, there, perfect. So now he's healed himself. The full time to unleash. Let's go. Hopefully we can kill him before he does Kiraja again. So 800 damage. 650. He's hasted, but that's okay. In fact, the more physical attacks he does, probably the better, because he'll do more average damage with his spells. And his spells, the more spells he casts, the sooner he'll Kiraja again, because it's all in order, remember. Ooh, 1177. That was some damage there. Okay, stop it with the tsunamis and the cyclones and stuff. Just, yeah, he's burning through his spells really quick here. A bit unfortunate. We're doing pretty good damage, though. $16 hits. Oh man, he is just only using magic. That is really unfortunate, actually. So I think his next spell is Kiraja. I think. No, but it's getting close. After Earthquake, it's not too far off, I think. So I'm really trying to be risky here on use offensive. This is about the time where you should probably pop an elixir, but I'm thinking he might be nearly dead, and I'm worried that he's going to heal up, so... do a couple more. Oh, Flare. That's going to hurt. Ooh, okay, that counts as nuke. Alright, we have no choice but to heal up, and... okay, well, that'll teach me. I was worried that he was going to cast Kiraja, so I was trying to hopefully kill him. That was a mistake. Okay. Gotta make sure I use that elixir a little bit earlier. Of course, the flare spell that does huge amounts of damage is it's very rare, so... Alright, let's try this again. Like I said, it's not 100%, but I definitely made a mistake there. Defender, defender, defender... How many defenders? 4 defenders? We'll be using lots of speed ups here just to save some video time. Because this might take 5 attempts. You never know. Alright, he is doing too much damage. Stop that. I'm going to try to preserve my elixirs so that I've got them for the rush. Because there's nothing to do till he Kirajas anyway. Although it would be good to be at full when he Kirajas. And to be honest, I don't even know his pattern in Dawn of Souls. I don't even know if there is a pattern. Maybe he just randomly casts Kiraja every so often. I think it is... I'm confusing his spells and his abilities. I think his spells are probably on a set rotation, and his abilities can just be used whenever he wants. So, spells like Thundaga and Firagad, Flare, Kiraja, I think they're probably on a set rotation. They're always in order, I betcha. But, his abilities he can just pop in whenever he wants, maybe. Like, Blaze and Tsunami, they're all just special abilities. And yeah, see, like, it's taking him a lot longer to get to his Cure 4 this time. And I think that was the problem, is I misunderstood the difference between, on the last run, I think I did it wrong, technically. Okay, so there's his Kiraja. So now we've got a full rotation of spell casts to try to kill him. So hopefully I'll be smarter here and heal up before, like, haste is spell, so he got a critical hit, that sucks. That's a spell, so he's 2 spells in. Cyclone's an ability, that's not the same. Earthquake's an ability. Blaze is an ability, so he's been using a bunch of abilities, but I gotta heal up. Getting dangerously close to getting killed by a nuke, so... I think whenever we're around 300 health, I basically have to use an elixir. And hopefully we can cycle through enough before he gets back to Kiraja. And it's... honestly, the more physicals and special abilities he uses, probably the better here. So it's good to see those. Just keep blazing it up. But yeah, like I was explaining earlier, if you're trying to heal up with high potions, I just don't think you can keep up enough DPS. You have to have a way of full healing, or else you're not going to get enough damage in before he heals. And it's still going to be a race here. Like, I don't even know for sure if I'm dealing enough to kill him before his Kiraja. I need to keep seeing those 1000s. There's the big nuke. Still okay. We've used 2 elixirs, just to keep in mind. I was betting on 3 being enough, and I had, I think, 4, so... Oh, Kiraja comes pretty quick after Slowra, doesn't it? I sure hope this kills him here. Come on. I'm risking it again, because I think he's close again. Even just counting his heals, I think he's getting awfully close. Come on, Baron. Indiga. Shoot. I don't know if I should heal or not. Like, if I heal and he Kirajas, we're done. But if I can just kill him, we've got to be close now. Oh, Tsunami, no! Oh, it did, like, just +3 damage to our health. Oh, I bet you we were close. Alright, well, that's twice I've learned to be humble. Also, twice he didn't use Kiraja as quickly as I was expecting. So, alright. Okay. 3rd time's the charm. It's fine. I said it wasn't was not a 100% run. You know, like, sometimes you're gonna just not win. Anyway, lots of defenses. I'm assuming they stack. I might be incorrect. If I'm doing it wrong, no, I apologize. You can forgive me. I haven't really researched the Dawn of Souls changes to the gameplay mechanics. I know that's how it worked in the NES version, but I'm not sure if that's true here. Alright, let's... again, just in case it doesn't stack, maybe having some protection is useful. Heck, for all I know, you can null Blaze and take half damage from... or quarter damage from Blaze, and I've been doing it wrong all along. So let's put null Blaze and null Shock up, just in case they work. It's possible. I guess pay attention. If I seem to take less damage from fire and lightning because of doing that, Well, then you've learned something. So that would probably count as ice rather than fire and lightning. So that should be the normal damage, if such a thing is true. Physical attacks are missing a lot, which is what I want. I want him to use... yeah, I want him to use Kiraja before I go at. Because any damage I do before then is just sort of wasted. Because you know he's going to heal up soon. Maybe casting Blink is different than the item's effect? I doubt it. Alright, I mean, it's easy to stay alive. That's not the problem. He's using a lot of physicals here. But don't kid. You know he's going to Kiraja before we would be able to kill him, so... Wish I had something else to do, is all. Some buff that would make a difference. Thundaga did 69. Is that less than last time? I think that's probably the same as... Like, I think the ribbon gives you essentially null shock, and they don't stack, so... Okay, if I attack him, are you going to use your Kiraja? I mean, my goal is to stay at full health until he Kirajas. So I'm always going to stay at 999, but he's really being, like... He's being a tease here by not using his heal. Come on, Chaos. You know you wanna. Unless it is truly just random and he uses it whenever... No, there we go. Okay. Now it's game time. Let's do this. 849. Let's keep count. Approximately. 1,600 damage. Probably about 2,000 damage. Gotta do a lot of math here. 2,900. 3650. Let's just round to the hundreds because it's gonna be too hard to math in my head here. That was another... it's like 4,500 damage, give or take. 4,900. 6,500. If he was a normal Chaos, he'd be dead 3 times. So I said 65, so that's about 7,600. Let's say 8,100. Ooh, that was a good hit. 9,100 damage. It's over 9,000. Over 10,000 damage. Around 7... Or, I don't know, I lost it. 10,700, something like that, I think. I better use the elixir here. We've done really good damage, though, I feel like. Unless he's got 30,000 HP. Alright, so we're looking at... What did I say? We'll say, like, somewhere around 10,700, I think. Something like that. And, 11,500? I don't know, let's just round it. 12,500. He's up to nuke already, yeah. 13,200. 14,000. 14,600 or something. 15,200. I'm probably way off. Oh, this is crazy. 15,700? If he has exactly 16,000 HP and Kirajas, I'm gonna cry. So we're over 16,000 now, maybe 16,500-ish. 17,000. This is why he's so hard. 17,700. Too much HP for one poor knight. Assuming my math is even close. That's another 800. That's 18,500 or something. 19,400. Over 20,000. Trying to keep track of it is the worst decision I've ever made. Hey! We got him! So 2 elixirs and some pretty good hits with haste. Healing up rather than rushing it, and who knows, maybe getting lucky. I don't know how often he Kirajas, but there you go. 3rd time is the charm. The knight solo kills Chaos with only a couple extra items without needing to go into the bonus dungeons. I figured we could do it. Let's play the happy end game music. Hooray! You are winner. That was That was stressful, guys. I was getting concerned after the first 2 terrible deaths. And once we cracked into the 20,000 range, I'm like, well, maybe he's got 50,000 and I've got no chance. So there you go. Fighter with Mazmune, killing Chaos in Dawn of Souls. The problem I see, if I want to do all 6 solo runs, no one else has the damage output the fighter does. Well, no, because a ninja would also use the Mazmune, but they'd have much lower strength. They'd still only get 8 hits. Sure, they could fast themselves, but that's the same as the Hermes Gauntlet. No, there's a black magic for Temper, right? So they could spend a long time casting Temper over and over and over again to get their attack damage actually higher than the fighters. Eventually. So it actually might be easier to kill the Chaos with Ninja. Oddly enough. Assuming we don't go into bonus dungeon items. What else have we got? The Monk? Well, a level 99 Monk with haste would probably do more damage. I would almost put money on it. They almost always do. When you get to max level punching, there's like, instead of 16 attacks, if we're hasted, we'll be doing 32. And I'm pretty sure a max level Monk will do more damage per hit than a Mazmune. So I think that would be easier. Again, weird, right? Knight's usually the easiest. So maybe Ninja and Monk are slightly easier in a way. But then the Wizards. How are the Wizards going to kill this guy? There's no possible way. Well, actually, maybe if they max their intelligence, maybe the nuke spell would do 999. Or, I don't even know if it could get to 1,000 damage. Maybe. I guess we'll have to see. At least with the Black Wizards and stuff, we know a way to get elixirs. So you don't have to worry about running out of MP. You can always eventually full heal and full MP cure. Like full restore MP. The White Mages or Wizards would have maybe the hardest time dealing damage, as always. You know, they can cure for themselves, so that healing is... You don't need elixirs for that. But how do they deal 22,000 damage or whatever it was, right? Like, let's just zip through this. It's a good game. I like it. It's fun. I had a good time. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the solo challenge. I'm not done yet, though. So, anyway, what I was sort of trying to decide was some of the other solo classes I haven't even tried yet. They're going to be, I would say, more difficult than a solo fighter. Like, usually the solo fighter in a NES Final Fantasy 1 is the easiest of the 6. So, given that the other ones are likely to have bigger stumbling blocks, kind of what I want... Oh, is that how it works? You can't just load that? Oh. Well, you know what? We'll just use the new game data, the save game data, to, Actually, maybe I didn't mean to do that. Well, that's a shame. Because what I was what I was just about to say was what I was planning on doing was to see how far the solo knight could make it inside the bonus dungeons. But now I just accidentally overwritten him. Because it's game clear. I should have read. I wasn't reading. Like, the only way to load this is to start a new game. Wow, that was really dumb. I mean, I had the emergency exit specifically so that I could get out of there. Well, I guess I could theoretically test it out on this old file by killing the other 3 off. Do I still have the old weapons? I could go back to the same equipment. I mean, it's kind of broken. Well, it's not the same because I've already got all the extra stuff. Like, the items I was talking about that I was trying not to abuse are this stuff. So if you bring strength tonics in, you can basically cast Temper for free as many times as you want. Like, maybe I should show it off because now I messed it up. I can't save it. Shoot. And also we've got like more powerful weapons than the Mazmune. Not by much, but better. Kind of crazy. Alright, we're going to show it off here just because I want to show off how this works. Just for interest's sake. Just a little bit of bonus content because I messed up my save file. And this is kind of one of the things I wanted to test. So, just for demonstration purposes, I just want to go over what a normal attack looks like here. So, pay attention to how much damage Argus can do, whatever, I don't know. Just for comparison, let's see how much damage he can do here. So 475, that's fine. So what we're gonna do is now buff him up. So we already know that the Hermes shoes should approximately double that. So say this will put him around 1,000 damage. That used to be as much as we could buff him, basically, right? Because that's all we had as a solo fighter. We did not have access to these drinks. But now let's throw a couple on, like an attack drink, and a speed drink, and is there any other drinks that would help deal damage? We already Hermes shoed. Giant's Tonic is max HP, that's not gonna matter. Yeah, it's these two specifically. And because they also stack, you can just keep using them forever. So while you were waiting for his Kiraja, you know what, I should have actually had him use the defense. I don't want him to die here. Sorry, this is going to take a little bit longer because there's too many items. Let's keep buffing him up a little bit more. He's got haste. He's got a couple speed drinks. A couple strength drinks. Also, because I don't want him to die, let's throw... I've got some really powerful weapons that you maybe will show off eventually if I get them legit. Sure, we can just cast Holy. You know, that's pretty cool. Where's the one I'm looking for? There's one that casts Kiraja, that's it. Kiraga, not level 4, but level 3 cure is still pretty good. There you go. Better than a high potion. So anyway, now let's see what his attack looks like. I'm just going to put a couple more buffs on him. Just to see how high we can get it going here. And this isn't even him with the most powerful weapon or anything. This is just... Imagine I was playing solo and I spent a few turns using all these potions and stuff. Is there anything else I was gonna do? Oh yeah, because I had that handy dandy, all these staffs. We've got the Flare Staff, Healara. I think there's actually a staff that casts Healaga, but it's just a random drop that I didn't get. Again, this save file is from a long time ago, so I forget. So remember, 475 originally. We did 24 hits. And that is more hits than should be possible, because you're at the 255 accuracy cap, which is 8. You're hasted for double, but how did you get from 16 to 24? Well, the answer, my friend, is cheating agility stats. And the point is, if you bring enough of these, you can basically break through any defense attack, any kind of defense barrier that exists. It takes a while, you know. If you only had the one guy, you'd be doing a lot of buffing. But every turn we do this, assuming he doesn't get slowed, he's going to do more damage and have a higher, like more attacks from the agility potion, and then more damage per hit from the giant's potion, or whatever it's called, strength tonic. And I actually don't know what the cap is. Like, I don't know what the limit is on those stats. I think it goes up for a very long time, though. So I'm just kind of, you know, I just feel like it'd be kind of fun, right? Like, how much damage can we deal per hit here by the time the boss goes down, right? Like, just being silly. I probably need to do a little bit of healing, though, or else someone's going to die. So we're up to 5,000 damage per hit. Like, I would have had no problem in the solo fight if I had access to those potions and could do 5,000 damage. That would have only taken, like, 4 or 5 attacks. Pretty easy. It is, I don't know if this is, like, working as intended or a bug, but it's kind of ridiculous, right? Still 5,000 damage. Next turn will be even better. Anyway, if you're wondering, this is how... Essentially, this is how you break the damage cap. Although Chaos has a lot of absorb, so, you know, it's difficult to get to 10,000 damage. But against an imp, this would destroy it pretty well. Also, I'm thinking 32 might be the cap. So maybe you can get to, like, whatever your normal number of attacks is doubled. I'm pretty sure a black belt can get to 64 hits. And then your strength, I don't know what the cap is on your damage value. Probably 255, you know. Your normal attack values were at like 85 or something with the Ragnarok sword. I bet you can get it up to 255, and then for a fighter, 32 attacks. Ridiculous. Anyway, I guess next episode in the series will just have to be another new game, because I can't load this one. And as much as I was going to use the Knight to test out the bonus dungeon, we'll have to test out the bonus dungeons solo with someone else, and we'll just have to see what happens. So I guess that's all. Thanks for watching, folks. I hope you have enjoyed, and come back next time as we do... I don't know which character next. Somebody else. Maybe I'll go with a more magical character, because this guy was just all about fighting. Maybe we'll do like Red Wiz or something next. That way we can use Deathbringer. Remember the random drop from the Black Knights? There you go. Perfect. Alright, folks. That's all for this episode. Thanks for watching. Hope you have enjoyed. And I'm having a fun time sort of... like, just to rant a little bit more. I was very familiar with the NES Final Fantasy 1 solo runs before I started them on the channel. So I already sort of knew what to do, and I did a bit of research, and I kind of understood all the ins and outs. I've always assumed, because this game was easier in general, that the solo runs wouldn't be that challenging. And for the most part, that's probably true, except for Chaos, and probably the bonus dungeons. So a lot of the game we breeze through much quicker because of the faster experience. But specifically, certain bosses and challenges they still make you think, and I think that's still fun, right? Like, I'm having fun learning the different challenges in the Dawn of Souls solo run. That's, if that makes sense, right? I already kind of know the challenging parts in the base game. The challenging parts in this version are definitely different, and it's kind of neat figuring out how to get around them. Like, specifically how to deal a billion damage. In fact, I just want to, really quick here, I know this episode just goes on forever. Shurko. I thought it said Sharko. Now that we've got a clear save file, we should be able to actually look at Chaos's stats. So 20,000. So I wasn't adding correctly. I was rounding up too often. But yeah, I thought I was around 21,000 when he died. 20,000's the number. So anyway, there's his stats. You can see basically he resists everything. So he takes half damage from fire, ice, lightning, and resists everything. And yeah. So his defense of 100. That's kind of why it's so hard to damage him, because your attack never gets past 100. So however the math works in the background, it's very difficult to deal a lot of damage. Neato! Anyway, that's all for today. Thanks for watching for the 5th or 6th time, and I'll see you for the next solo run, whichever one gets lucky enough to make it to the team. See you there!